All right. So today I'm working on a little DIY with the fender badges on my what is it, an 83 GMC 1500, obviously. And truck was repainted a couple years ago, but the fender badges, this is a before and after. I've obviously already done that one. And this one is a before. And actually, it's in a little better shape than this one was, but very similar, just all faded, chipped up, all that shit. You can find these things, I mean, pretty much anywhere. A bunch of companies make these or whatever, but I didn't really feel like spending 80, 90, $100 on a set of two freaking badges. At this point, here down the road, I probably will just replace them, but just wanted to kind of show my cheap, easy-ish DIY way of kind of restoring them and just making them look a little fresher and cleaner. But yeah, first, which I didn't record, which would be boring anyway, but started off, washing, took them off. It sucks because the damn pegs are missing. They had like freaking glued them back on with something. I don't know what the crap that is. It's like some of it feels like silicone and some of it feels like Gorilla Glue or something. I don't know, but I'm going to have to clean all that crap off. And I'm just going to end up, I think, just using like two-sided, like 3M molding tape to put them back on for now. But anyhow, started off, I just washed them real good with just Dawn and water. And then actually, all this chrome and stuff, it actually is pretty shiny now. It was all hazy and stuff, and so I actually, while I had it under the sink, took some 2000 grit wet sandpaper and just kind of buffed real lightly under the running water, just because I didn't want to scratch it by any means, but I was just, just enough to break through that haze and bring a little luster back to it. But yeah, I'll kind of walk you through how I did it and what I used. And I mean, if you guys are like me, you probably have most of this stuff laying around your shed or your garage or whatever anyway. So yeah, I'll start off. I won't tape it because you don't want to watch me run masking tape or whatever, but I'm going to mask this part off first, because on this one I masked this off and then just shot all the black and then came back later and did the red. But I'll just show you kind of how I masked this off. This one here, you'll see it's like, you can see it's kind of a pain to mask because this square, let's see if I can, but that is all chrome, so you got to run a real tight bead of tape right there. And yeah, so I'll get that masked off and show you what I did. Alright, so like I said, I just kind of taped it real flush down to where the remnants of that black paint is. And then I just kind of took my little screwdriver here. I mean a little pick or something, and I just kind of like smoothed it out, made sure it was real flat and there was no gaps or anything for any overspray to get in. And then basically just, once that's stuck on the edges real good, just fold that over. I use some pretty wide tape, so that should mask all that off pretty good. I don't see any gaps or anything really. Yeah, that should be good. Alright, and let's see, so yeah, that's that. Now I will take it outside to my crappy little bench that I spray paint shit on. Alright, so we're outside now. I got my paint shook up. What I used for the black, was just whatever, just Rust-Oleum gloss black. Get it wherever, Walmart or whatever. well, there's the truck that's going on. Kind of a hazy day here in central New Mexico. Just shaking up. Sorry, trying to operate the camera one-handed here. And then basically, I'm kind of a fan of doing multiple coats, and you know, I didn't go too crazy, you know, trying to get all the black out of the letters. I mean, I guess you could if you felt it was necessary, but I mean, like I said, these things are missing the pegs and everything anyway. I'm just trying to kind of freshen them up for now, and eventually I will get some new reproduction ones or something here down the road, but this will do for now. And I don't even know, I mean, I kind of went in with a toothbrush and kind of, you know, when I was washing it, tried to get in all the letters and at least get any like loose, flaky stuff out of there. All that stuff that's left seems to be on there pretty good, so I'm not really going to mess with it. I guess you could take a Dremel or some kind of stripper or something and try to get all the paint out if you really wanted to, but that is all up to you. But anyways, I am a fan of doing at least a couple of coats when I'm using rattle can stuff. So I'm just gonna, I won't bore you with all that. I'll just shoot this and probably come back, you know, in whatever, 15 minutes after it's kind of gotten a little sticky. Hit it again, maybe 2 or 3 coats, but let's see here. Just go to town on this bitch. Trying to go kind of light with it. I don't want it to get all runny or anything. Gonna hit it from all sides. Cool. And like I said, I'm gonna let that just kind of set up for a few minutes, come back and do, I don't know, 1 or 2 more coats maybe, we'll see. And then I will pick up the video after this is cheesed up. The last one I let sit for, after I'd done all the coats, I let it sit for maybe an hour or 2, just because, you know, when I go back to remove the stuff off the part that's supposed to be shiny, you know, I didn't want it fully set, but I didn't want it like still wet and all runny and stuff and make a huge mess. So we will pick it up there. All right, so it's been probably a couple hours, and brought this in from outside. Seems like might be ready for our next step here. Wanted to pull the tape off, make sure I masked it all well enough, and we'll go from there. Oh, looks like I got a little bit of paint on there, but that's all right. Sucker's still a little sticky. So there we go. Looks like I got a little hole in the tape there. Got a little black on there, but that doesn't matter. So there's that. And my next step, bring this over to my sink here, was, so in order to get the paint to stay in there, at first I tried sandpaper, like fine sandpaper, to just run over the surface, and it probably would have worked. It just seemed like it was taking forever though, and so I didn't really want to put acetone on it because I know that reacts bad with plastics sometimes. So what I did was just good old brake clean. And then a little bit of that. I just took a little piece of paper towel, trying to get a better angle here. And then I didn't do too much. I just, you know, just a little bit on a paper towel, let it dry out. And then, let me see if I can set this somewhere. I can kind of do it one-handed, and you guys can still see it, or not have to do it one-handed. So I just take that paper towel with the brake clean on it, and just right over the top, just kind of start wiping it. See, all that shit comes right off. But I don't want it to be like super wet, because I don't want it to get down into where I want the black. Just want to take it off the surface. So kind of just keep going over it a little at a time here. And I mean, yeah, look at all that it takes off. It doesn't take long before it, excuse me, starts. You start seeing some of that shine again. And it seems like the brake cleaner did pretty good without, you know, it didn't seem to harm the plastic or anything like that. And I'm going pretty easy on it too. I'm not necessarily trying to soak it with brake cleaner by any means, but just kind of trying to wipe it off the surface here. And yeah, I think I let this paint set for maybe 2 hours, maybe not quite that long. But yeah, and you can see some of that starting to come through there. And now I'm gonna stink at my house like brake cleaner. But that's okay, because I live alone, and I kind of like the smell of brake cleaner for some reason. I don't necessarily have a fume huffing addiction by any means, but yeah, there we go. See, some of that's really starting to come off now. So just little at a time. I'm just kind of taking my time and just wiping it off. Just with a regular old paper towel. There it is. Yeah, see, so you get the idea of what it starts to do. So I'll stop the video here, because this might take a few minutes, and I'm sure you guys don't just want to watch me wipe paint off of this. So I'm going to go ahead and get this basically to where I want it, and be right back. Alright, so literally took just a couple more minutes to wipe the rest of the brunt of that paint off. So I mean, that's looking pretty darn good, I think. There will be these little, I mean, you see that smudge there. You know, there's little spots here and there that just need to be detailed. I just took on the other one, I just used a Q-tip and just, you know, spray a little brake cleaner on it and just kind of wipe out of those crevices. There's another little spot there, here and there. But that's basically, you know, from a distance, you can't even really see that stuff. But I'll go back through and detail all that. But now for this side, basically what I did was I masked it off, you know, real close to the letters around all sides. And obviously, you know, this side I masked off to keep from any red contaminating my nice, beautiful, shiny black and chrome schematic here. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead. Oh, I guess I should. The red I used for that was just this Rust-Oleum. and they call that safety red. This I got, I think, just at Walmart. I don't know, $6 or something for this big ass can of it. And I don't know, I like that red, that shade of red. This, I feel like the camera is actually doing it fair justice, honestly, in this lighting. And I want to say, like, I feel like the original red I know they kind of changed it. I feel like they changed it here and there a little bit, but this era truck, I think it was maybe a little more orange than that, but I had a hell of a time trying to find any sort of detail on any sort of paint coat or anything that they used on those red emblems. But I mean, whatever, I think that looks pretty good, and I'll probably do the tailgate and the grill emblem in the same red, because I personally just kind of like that shade. And that's kind of the cool thing with, you know, doing it this way. I mean, you know, if you wanted to do, you know, contrast, you could do whatever colors you want. You don't have to do black and red. You could make it match or contrast or whatever with whatever the heck you want. So, but I just wanted to kind of keep it somewhat original, factory looking. So yeah, so I guess now I'm gonna pause here and I'll just kind of show you how I tape that off. And it's basically the same process. I mean, tape everything off that you don't want to turn red, spray paint the red, and then kind of the same thing, just wipe it off with the brake cleaner. But yeah, I'll still go through it because may as well go through the whole process. This is a little different because it's got that like that brushed finish on this little square to the side here, so that I taped it off real close to the numbers just so I wasn't trying to wipe out all these tiny little crevices. So yeah, I'll pause here and tape it off and kind of show you how I did it, and we'll shoot some red spray paint on there. Right, back outside. That's how I masked that off. Like I said, you know, just taped off pretty damn tight to the numbers, and then, you know, just used rolled the rest of the emblem up in a piece of newspaper to hopefully keep all the red off of it. And then same thing, you know, I'm just gonna hit this with a couple coats, you know, this one, and then wait a few minutes and do maybe one or two more. Hit it from the other side here. I think I'm gonna call that good for right now. I'm just gonna let that do its thing. Probably hit it with one more coat, and yeah, then I'll get it wiped off and we'll hopefully see a finished product here. Alright, so there we have it. I decided to spare you guys the watching me wipe off the red paint, but I think after this video you get the idea, and that turned out pretty good. I even went through with a little Q-tip and kind of cleaned up some of those little spots. It's funny, they looked huge because I'm zoomed in on this thing, but man, you could barely even see them when you're looking at it in real life. But I went ahead and touched it up a little bit anyway, so there's that finished product. Both of them are ready for reinstallation now. But yeah, I hope maybe this helps somebody out. And like I said, if your stuff's still in decent condition and salvageable, and you don't want to spend $80 to $100 on new Fender emblems, I don't know, seems like a decent way to go. We'll see how well the paint holds up to the elements and all that, but like I do plan on getting new emblems here at some point in time. But you know, I just repainted the wheels, and I've been doing a lot of little things to this truck to just kind of clean it up, and having dirty old crusty Fender emblems on it, just, I don't know, it was just bugging the living crap out of me. So I wanted to do something about it. But yeah, I'll probably make another video tomorrow, reinstalling them using the not factory method, since the pegs on the back are missing and what have you. So I'll be Trying to stick them on with some two-sided 3M body tape, molding tape or whatever. So yeah, thanks for watching.